don't do that.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Monday Night X-Wing, coming to you again tonight from Imperial Hobbies. I'm Marcus, and tonight we have a Rebel versus Imperial matchup for you. Mr. Hosey, if you could go down the lists and give us the lowdown on what these guys have got.
Well, the lowdown on the list is that Andrew's running his Rebel list on the left side of your screen, and Ben is running his Imperial list on the right hand of your screen. Ben's running Jendon in the Lambda Shuttle with a weapons engineer, a Rebel captive, the Lambda Shuttle title ST-321, heavy laser cannons, advanced sensors, and engine upgrades. It's one pimped out shuttle. Jonus will be running with swarm tactics and Proton torpedoes in his bomber, and a Gamma Squadron pilot in another bomber with homing missiles. On Andrew's side, on the left side there, we have Wedge Antilles with his pilot skill 9, R5K6, and Marksmanship elite pilot talent. We have Biggs Darklighter with R2F2, which gives him an action to get an extra evade dice. Rounding things off in the B-Wing is Numb with his Autoblasters and Squad Leader ability, which is an action that he can pick a ship within range 1 and give that ship a free action instead. So two heavy hitting lists on both sides of the map, and we're going to jump right into this game and start off with asteroid placement. So Ben wins the roll there. We kind of rolled it off camera, but they had to roll it again. So, and asteroid placement is an important part of this list, since there is going to be a large base shuttle in there.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a lot of space to move in that situation.
Yep. And of course, on Andrew's side, you want to have no space to move him so he can land on multiple asteroids. Now, these lists are very strong in terms of attacking, especially on Andrew's side. He has Wedge Antilles, which reduces your agility by 1. He has 10 Numb, where you cannot cancel one of his critical strikes by dice.
Oh.
And he also has the Autoblaster, which you can't cancel any of his regular hits. And on the Imperial side, he will not even have, most of his ships only has 1 or even 2 defense dice. Just a special note about the Autoblaster, he does need to be within range 1.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Still gets 3 attack dice. So pretty good starting lineup for the Imperial player with a great little setup and a quick turn. Looks like he's been practicing that one on his spare time. We have Biggs Darklighter going 4 forward, and he most likely will take his R2F2 action. Nope, he takes a focus instead. Yep. So Ben likes to start his ships in the middle of the map, where he has his options to go left or right. Andrew, on the other hand, likes to start on the far corners, where he started, as you can see in the top left of your screen there. And Colonel Jendon, with his advanced sensors, takes his target lock, and with his title, he can target lock anywhere on the map. And with his weapons engineer, he can target lock 2 ships.
Ah, excellent.
So it's going to be very important to manage those target locks throughout the game. We've seen Colonel Jendon and in other builds, but players really have a tough time managing those target locks between their ships. So Wedge takes his marksmanship action, which allows him to change 1 focus into a crit and all other focuses into hits. Oh, looks like Colonel Jendon remembered to pass off his target lock to the Gamma Squadron pilots. Gamma Squadron pilot goes 1 forward. Sorry, 1 bank and takes a focus action. Biggs takes a 2 forward action. Slow and steady on the Rebel side. I think he's waiting to see what the Imperial player does going through those asteroids. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, he maybe want to try and find a spot where he's wedged himself in there and can take advantage of it.
Exactly.
So that one TIE bomber already bumped the shuttle back there in the previous round.
Yeah, right at the start. I think he was hoping that that bomber would come across, but he couldn't make it.
Nah. He was trying to do a fancy-looking thing where whoosh, they'd come across and be all formed up, but did not work out for him.
Yep. So the shuttle takes its advanced sensors action and again target locks.
And
Really, really important to remember your ship's abilities and upgrades. Got to make full use of them.
mm-hmm.
So he can hold 2 target locks, and he has 1 on Biggs and 1 on 10 Numb.
Oh, he's
Captain Jonus bumps again, but it looks like they're falling into some sort of formation.
yeah. He might. Is he using the bumping to actually create a formation?
Players can do that, especially early on in the game where the actions aren't as important.
Yeah. Obviously, they're so far from engaging right now that they can afford these little things.
Yeah. What you don't want to do is have Colonel Jendon bump too much, just because of his action is actually not range restricted.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he has the advanced sensors, which allows him to take the action before movement, and then he can bump
Mm-hmm.
at his own will. So it looks like Captain Jendon passes his other target lock of Biggs to Captain Jonus. Really good target management on the Imperial player.
Yeah.
The bomber goes forward. He's might clip that asteroid on his next movement, but we'll see.
Yeah. He's going to have to be very cautious about his next choice here.
Yeah. Of course, he could have chosen to barrel roll.
Do a barrel
but
roll.
He chose a focus instead. Maybe he's hoping that that Biggs is going to be in range this round, and he'll be able to unload his homing missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, looks like he took his R2 F2 action, and like you can see, his agility now is up to 3.
Ah, okay.
He's expecting to get hit, of course.
Yeah. Well, obviously they are rapidly closing now, though bumping again.
Yeah, he took his advanced sensors actions to take the focus and bumped.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see how this affects Jonus in the back.
Oh, and he bumps
He
again.
bumps again. I don't think that was very smart. I think he should have taken a further action to put him into play more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so looks like 10 up past squad leader action for Biggs to take a focus. So Biggs now has a focus and the R2 F2 action.
And now they're in a tight formation.
Tight formation again.
Yeah.
Takes a marksmanship action because they expect to be shooting this round. Doesn't look like there's no range. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Oh, I think he's trying to swarm tactics. That Gamma Squadron pilot, so he can at least shoot at pilot skill 6, which will allow him to shoot before Biggs does.
Which will probably be very important if he can manage it.
Yep. But now Wedge goes first, range 3. Gamma Squadron pilot. Oh, 3 crits. Takes 2 crits. Structural damage and damaged engines. Roll 1 attack dice on a hit result. Suffer a hit. Yep, he suffers it.
Oh,
So unfortunate. Alright. Hit and a crit. Can't cancel the crit. Doesn't
Oh.
matter anyway.
nothing.
Right, so it takes another crit. Console fire at start of each combat phase, roll 1 attack dice. On a hit result, you suffer 1 damage.
Oh my goodness.
That Gamma Squadron pilot took a heavy beating that round. The shuttle looks like it's at range
Yeah.
3.
It's just barely at the edge of range 3, it seems.
Just barely at range 3. Looks like they're measuring.
Yep, they're doing it really precise. Yep,
Yeah, it looks like he has a shot on him
just in range.
with 3 dice. But Biggs now has 4 defense dice because he's at range 3. Actually, he's using his heavy laser cannon, so it doesn't matter. So he's gonna reroll.
Huh.
We're using Captain Jonus's ability and spends his focus for 3 hits. Spends the focus and get 2 dodges. Now what happened there is Colonel Jendon used his heavy laser cannons, which negates any range bonus that Biggs gets.
Ah, okay.
Used his focus and then used his Captain Jonus ability to reroll the 2 dice. Gamma Squadron pilot barely pulls off an evade there, spending his focus. So, using his homing missiles. Special thing about the homing missiles is that you actually get to keep your target lock instead of spending it. You need to have one to shoot the missiles, but you get to keep it. Usually you have to discard it. 2 crits and a hit, and he spends his target lock anyway. Doesn't help him at all. 1 evade. Takes a crit and a hit. Treat all turn maneuvers sharp left or sharp right as red maneuvers.
Oh.
So the TIE Bomber lives 1 more round and inflicts some heavy damage on Big's Darklighter.
And now he's just zooming right in.
Zooming right in, takes a red K-turn, takes a stress. He's hoping that these 3 rebel ships will zoom right past him. And they do. Biggs.
Oh, wow.
Oops. Biggs takes a 1 bank and makes it right past. Yeah. They're checking, see what kind of action he's going to take. I'm sure he's going to take his extra evade dice. Action.
It should be very interesting to see what those other
Takes a focus.
guys do.
Let's see what Colonel Jendon does. He goes 1 bank.
Uh-oh. That is that was not well planned.
That was not well planned at all.
Oh.
And takes a damage. 1 shield goes off. Jonus finally does not bump. Goes forward and he takes a focus action, hoping to shoot somebody this round. He doesn't have, he has Proton Torpedoes. Hopefully he's going to be able to use them on Biggs.
Well, that 1 bomber in the front seems to have got himself into an excellent position to fire on these other 2 X-Wings.
I think that's a, there's a B-Wing in
front
of him.
That's a B-Wing.
But he has to shoot on Biggs. Biggs' ability forces him to shoot him if he can. Looks like Wedge will bump him. So when you bump another ship, you cannot attack it. So that Gamma Squadron pilot is going to be pretty safe back there. Can't say that to Colonel Jendon sitting on an asteroid. Alright, so he rolls his critical, and it's just a focus, so he doesn't get destroyed this round. So if he had rolled a hit, he would basically die. Alright, so Wedge gets to shoot first. Nothing. 10 up, will use his Autoblasters. 1 hit, spends his target lock, and receives another hit. 2 hits. Can't, 2 shields. Now, if he had any crits, he couldn't use any of his dice anyway to cancel the hits because of the Autoblasters' as a special ability.
Yep. So, even if he had rolled anything, no good.
Yep.
Oh, look at this.
Good hits, good hits. 2 crits, 2 hits with his Protons. 2 dodges. Takes 2 crits, and Biggs is out of the game.
Oh, wow.
Imperial with a strong first advantage here. The 2 strong ships, 10 Numb and Wedge Antilles, are now open for hunting season on them. So 3 hits on 10 Numb. And loses 3 of his shields. Our second angle here showing us how close all the ships are. The Gamma Squadron pilot goes 1 forward and bumps. Colonel Jendon boosts off the asteroid and onto another asteroid. Nope, he barely makes it off, but he gets a stress and he has to roll an attack dice. Nope, avoids the damage there. But,
wow. The asteroid placement is really hurting that shuttle at this point.
And Captain Jonus, following suit, takes a hit and lands on that shuttle. Can't take an action. I think he's only taken 1 action this whole game. And he took a critical strike. Reduce your agility by 1, so he's down to 1 agility.
Oh, and now this B-Wing is right in front of him.
Right on his nose, and can use the Autoblaster and probably take him out. Takes the target lock on him. Wedge goes 1 bank. That Gamma Squadron pilot positioned himself perfectly to survive another round. Autoblasters on Jonus, target locked, and 3 hits that can't be cancelled. So Captain Jonus is down to 2 hull now. Wedge shoots the shuttle, reducing its agility by 1, spends the target focus, 2 hits, activates R5K6, and reacquires target lock. Really strong list since Wedge reduces the shuttle's ability by 1 to 0. So
it already was not moving very quickly. Now it is really in trouble.
Yeah, takes a stress because of the Rebel captive on there. The first ship to say that this shuttle is the target gets a stress.
Ah, okay. I was wondering what that Rebel captive was going to add in.
Yeah, so as soon as you announce that the shuttle is a target for you, you receive a stress.
Okay. Oh.
Gamma Squadron pilot squeezes in.
Yeah, I think he just barely bumped that guy.
Yeah, I think he did bump him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get his action. Captain Jonus, 5k turn. And receives a stress. Another round with no action for him. Let's see how that B-Wing gets out of there. The shuttle can't advance sensors right now. Has to go and clear its stress first. Goes 1 forward to do that. And what is action? Determining what his action will be, he will boost. Boost 1.
Yeah, he needs to get out of that spot he's in right now.
Yeah, those engine upgrades on the shuttle are actually a really good idea since it has a really crappy dial. And giving it that extra boost will allow it to maneuver, as you can see, really well.
Yeah. Oh, and
that B-Wing takes a hit from landing on the asteroid, from going through the asteroid.
Ah, okay.
Loses a shuttle, or loses a shield, sorry. Wedge takes a focus. And I'm sure he's going to go after that. Yep, there he goes.
Yep, right after the shuttle.
And receives a stress for the Rebel captive. 2 hits. He can't. Reduced by 1, but he's at range 3. Spends the focus. Spends the target lock. Tries to reacquire it, and he does reacquire it. 1 evade. Loses 2 health. Colonel Jendon is down to 3 hull. The Imperials are really on the ropes at this point.
Yeah, they are in trouble. They've managed to take out 1 X-Wing, but...
Well, Captain Jonus survives since Autoblaster roll 3 focus. Gamma Squadron pilot. Oh, rolls his console fire. Gets a hit and dies. He should have rolled that at the very beginning of his turn. So now 10 Numb gets to shoot again. Through an asteroid. 1 hit. And
3 evades.
Good for him. Yeah, players tend to forget those critical actions. So you gotta remind yourself a lot. Even I forgot. 2 evades, so no hits this time. So we're gonna go back to movement. See what these players decide to do. Takes a 1 bank. Actually, he boosts first with advanced sensors, and then takes a 2 sharp turn. Gets himself back in the action, but he receives a stress. Let's see what Jonus decides to do. Takes a 2 bank. I don't think that clears his stress, does it?
Oh,
yeah, it does clear his stress, but he bumps. So another turn with no action for Captain Jonus.
He has really got to manage that better.
Yeah, it looks like he went this whole game with no action.
Oh, barrel roll.
Do a barrel
Excellent
roll.
barrel roll. Put him in range. He'll be able to shoot and be shot at. Wedge goes 3 bank, does not lose his stress since it's not a green maneuver. Can't take an action since he's stressed. Ranged 1, receives another stress for Rebel captive.
Yeah.
Uses his target lock and a hit and a crit.
Ooh.
can't roll any dice. Direct hit counts as 2 hits, so those 2 hit and a crit turn into 3 hits, and Colonel Jendon is dead.
That is it for the shuttle.
That's it for the shuttle. The B-Wing. Gets a hit and a crit, and 1 evade. What's the crit? Structural. Interesting. Is 0 for agility now. Well, hopefully he doesn't land on an asteroid. Nope, he didn't. Good for him.
Will he get an action this turn? I don't know.
I hope he does. I hope he remembers to take an action.
He hasn't had an action for so long, he's forgotten he can take actions.
I think, oh, they're considering him to see if he can barrel roll. But if he can't clear that asteroid, or if his barrel roll template overlaps the asteroid, he cannot take the action. So it looks like it will touch. So he cannot.
Too close.
Yeah. Yep. He can't do that barrel roll action. So he was just gonna take a focus. Nope. Target locks. Good. Target lock is always a good action to take, especially when you're not being shot at. But he will be.
Mm-hmm. At least by that B-Wing, and but not by the X-Wing, not this turn.
No, the X-Wing has 2 stress from last turn, so it used a 1 bank to clear 1 of the stress.
Okay.
10 up shoots, 2 hits. Oh, nothing. And just like that, the game is over. With a pretty good matchup, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of heavy hitting action in there.
Yeah, and there was a lot of problems with placement. They struck a lot of asteroids, bumped a lot early on.
Yeah, it hurts a lot when you bump and when you overlap asteroids. And it doesn't help that every time you land on an asteroid, you don't get an action. You don't get to shoot if you actually land on it. If your maneuver template passes over it, you don't get an action, and that denied him so many actions this game and put him at a huge disadvantage.
Mm-hmm, yeah, he wasn't able to use hardly any of his special abilities, and if you can't use your stuff, you're always going to be in trouble.
Yeah, because those are points on your list that you are not using efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we'll conclude this game, and hopefully you enjoyed that one, took some notes, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.
May the Force be with you.